So we're back. We're on the other side of this garden hose that we talked about before. This is the sound booth. You know, contains everything that you need to make everything that's plugged in on the stage work and produce sound. When we plugged into channel 1 in that box, we said that that was extending the garden hose. This is the other end of that hose. They are labeled here. This is 1, which, you know, for us shows that that's where you know, that's the channel we plugged into. But what's more important than the number on the cabling here itself is knowing where it's connected on the mixing board, on the console itself. Once that's plugged in into channel 1 here, then anything that happens with the sound, anything that you want to do to shape the sound, make it louder, make it softer, make it sound different, send it different places, it's all going to happen on the channel, and only on the channel that it's plugged into. So if something was plugged into, on that box back there, if something was plugged into 5, channel 1 is not going to have anything to do with it. Okay? It's only whatever the channel is plugged into. So this is other end of that hose that we plugged in over there at the stage. That's channel 1. It's plugged in. So everything that you need to shape the sound exists in this inch or inch and a half of space. That's going to control the entire shaping of the sound. So let's, before we get into specifics about this, let's talk about the rest of the signal flow. We've got the sound, the source, the water flowing through that hose into the channel. It drifts down the channel, and there are things that this does that we'll talk about more. It goes through a fader system. Once it gets past this point in the console, it actually jumps. These are all just duplicates of the same 1-inch space. So if you can learn one of these inches of space, then you know what the rest of this section does. The next important spot is to know that the sound jumps from here at the fader to the output side of the console. This entire surface here, and actually including this area that looks the same, is all what we call input side. So anything that we want to produce sound, microphone, a direct box, anything like that, has to come into an input somewhere. So any of these are the inputs. Once you've done the shaping that you want to do with this sound, it jumps by way of the assignments that you make. It jumps to the output side, which is just this section of the console right here. Most important thing to know here for what we're going to do begin with is this is the output. This is the main volume control, if you want to look at it like that, for the entire system, for the entire audience system. The monitors are separate, but we'll talk about that too. If this yellow fader is all the way down at 0 or at infinite, you're not going to get any sound out of the console at all. So very important that before you start doing a lot of knob twisting, that you know that has to be up. We typically will let it rest at the 0 mark. That's kind of the best nominal value for volume.